Good morning, students, and welcome to LOL Virtual English Classroom. Our topic for today is adverbs. What are adverbs? What are its types? How does it function in a sentence? Today we are going to study all about adverbs. So, let's get started. Now, we all know what is a part of speech. The part of speech indicates how the word functions in meaning as well as grammatically within the sentence. There are 8 to 9 parts of speech. They are noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection, and articles. So, what is the function of adverb in a part of speech? Let us see what is its role. What is an adverb? An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. For example, he sings is a complete sentence and the verb is sings. But if I add a word, he sings loudly, it is describing the verb sings being very loud. So loudly becomes adverb. Let's take another example for adjective. He is very tall. It is describing that it is tall, very tall, using the word very. So over here, adverb very is used to describe adjective. He ran too quickly. Let's take another example. He ran too quickly. Over here, it is describing the verb running very quickly, and they have used the word too. So it is describing again the other adverb, too quickly. It is always said that any word ending with ly is an adverb. In most cases, it is true. But there are many words which do not end with ly and they function as adverb also. Now let's take the example of adjectives. There are adjectives which can be turned into adverb by adding ly. Example, kind can become kindly. She is a kind girl. That is an adjective. She spoke kindly. Kindly here has become adverb, describing the tone of the girl being kind. So kindly over here has become adverb. The boy, he is a happy boy. Happy here has become adjective, describing the boy being happy. If I have to turn it into adverb, he plays happily. Now happily over here has turned into adverb, describing the action, play. He is playing happily. Wonderful is an adjective, and when you add ly, it becomes adverb. Same goes with the other words. So we have understood what is adverb. An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, adjective, or other adverb. To put it another way, an adverb describes actions and it describes other descriptive words. As we have learned about adverbs, we are also going to learn different types of adverbs. Basically, adverbs tell us more about the action. It also gives us information about when the action is done, how the action is done, where the action is done, to what extent an action is done. So let's learn the different types of adverbs. And the first type of adverb is adverb of manner. Adverb of manner describes in which manner an action is done. It answers the question how. Let's take the example. The boys are talking loudly. What is the verb over here? Talking. How are they talking? Loudly. Is it answering the question how? Yes, they are talking loudly. So this becomes adverb of manner. Loudly over here is answering the question how they are talking. So it is adverb of manner. The next type is adverb of place. Now adverb of place tell us where something happens, where an action is done. Let's take the example. Children, come here. The verb is come. Ask the question to the verb where the children have to come. It is giving you the answer here. So here becomes adverb of place. It is indicating you the location, and the different adverb of place are here, everywhere, outside, around. Let's take another example. Children are playing outside. What is the verb over here? Are playing. Let's ask the question. Where are the children playing? Outside. It is giving you the answer. Outside. So outside becomes adverb of place. It always answers the question where, and you have to question to the verb. Adverb of time. Adverb of time tells us when something happened. They can also tell us for how long or how frequently something happened. They generally modify verbs. Let's take an example. The package arrived yesterday. The verb over here is arrived. Ask the question, the verb. When did the package arrive? Is it giving you the answer yesterday? Yes. So yesterday becomes adverb of time. And the other example of adverb of time is sooner, later, tomorrow, yesterday, weekly, last week, etc. Adverb of frequency. An adverb of frequency shows how many times an action is done, or describes how often an action happens, how many times it is being repeated. There are 6 main adverbs of frequency that we use in English, and they are always, usually, normally, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. Let's take the example. I always wake up at 6 o'clock. So this is the action which is being done always. How often he gets up at 6 o'clock? Always. So always over here becomes adverb of frequency. It is indicating us that the action is being taken place always. So always is adverb of frequency. Adverb of degree. Adverb of degree tells us about the intensity of something. Adverbs of degree are usually placed before the adjective, adverb, or verb that they modify. The words are to, enough, very, and extremely are examples of adverbs of degree. It answers the question how much, to what degree, or to what extent. Let's take the first example. The water was extremely cold. Now, extremely over here is describing the water being very cold. Okay, it is describing the intensity of coldness. It is describing the degree of coldness. So extremely over here is adverb of degree. The movie is quite interesting. The verb over here is, and the word quiet is showing the degree of interest. Quiet. So quiet over here becomes adverb of degree. To what extent the movie is interesting? Quiet. To what degree the movie is interesting? Quiet. So the movie is quite interesting is adverb of degree. So today we enjoyed learning adverbs, and it's time. And we have learned that adverbs are words which modify verbs. It tells us more about the verbs. It also tells us when the action was done, where the action was done, how the action was done, how often it was done, and to what extent the action was done. Hope you have learned and understood adverbs.